Hello guys, it's time blind reaction of this Grimdark reading called Cupcakes. My Little Pony Grimdark reading. It is 26 minutes and 15 seconds long. Knowing Sparrow, this is not going to be good. I got a strong stomach. I'm not. Hopefully, it's not as bad as the. Well, most people didn't like the SSM version. This is like the actual reading version now. How it was in the fan fiction. Without further ado, we're gonna get this reaction started. In 3, 2, 1, go. That music always gets me. Oh, that music always plays around your ears. Oh, it started off happy.
The air was warm, the sun was shining, and
Hello,
every pony in
Pinkie Pie.
Ponyville was having a glorious day. The town square was bustling and
Is that
crowded,
ketchup?
and busy ponies filled the streets. All the pony folks seemed to have somewhere specific to be,
Really?
all except for Rainbow Dash. Her place was in the sky. She tore freely through the air, speeding one way and the next, buzzing the treetops and racing the wind. The blue Pegasus swooped over the schoolyard, much to the delight of the children, then climbed several hundred feet and dove, streaking downward as fast as she could. Seconds before hitting the ground, her wings flew open and she pulled back up into the clear blue. Rainbow felt alive. Suddenly, Dash remembered that she had somewhere to be. She was supposed to meet up with Pinkie in 5 minutes. Dash had gotten so caught up in her exercises that she'd nearly forgotten that Pinkie had asked her to meet her at Sugar Cube Corner at 3.
It's a trap.
Pinkie hadn't said why or what they'd be doing, but Dash knew that with Pinkie, it could be anything. Dash wasn't sure if she really wanted to go though. She was so engaged with her stunts that she thought about blowing Pinkie off to continue flying. But Dash's conscience got the better of her. She knew that it would hurt Pinkie's feelings. After all, Pinkie had said it was going to be something special just for the two of them.
And as a result,
Dash considered it and thought, why not? What did she have to lose? Heck, it might be more pranking. Pinkie might have found out a bunch more fun stuff to pull on folks. And they'd had so much fun the last time.
But her
Dash kicked into overdrive to make up for lost time.
That's not technically pranking, is it?
To her appointment. When Dash walked into the store, she was immediately greeted by her host, who was bouncing in excitement.
Yay, you're here! I've been waiting all day!
Said the jumping
Hello,
pony.
Pinkie Pie.
Sorry if I'm a little late, Pinkie. I was doing my afternoon exercises and lost track of time.
Dash apologized. Pinkie giggled and responded in a gleefully reassuring tone.
Oh, that's okay, you're here now. Let's have 2 more minutes. I've been so excited thinking about all the fun stuff we're gonna do. I haven't stopped bouncing since I woke up. I almost forgot to breathe. I've been so happy.
She's gone mad.
Dash gave a slightly uncomfortable laugh. She had
Pinkie
always
Pie's gone
appreciated
mad.
Pinkie Pie's friendly, outgoing way of life, but Pinkie's overabundant enthusiasm almost creeped her out. Dash maintained a polite expression, however. If Pinkie was this worked up, whatever she had planned must be good.
So, you ready to get started, Rainbow Dash? I got everything all ready.
The pink pony said.
And no ponies
Dash
ever...
psyched herself up.
You
Notice?
betcha, Pinkie. So, what do you got planned?
No
We gonna
ponies
prank
ever
somebody?
noticed Pinkie
I got a
Pie's,
couple of good ones I've been thinking about. Or maybe you've got some sense you
can't
think I should
notice
try.
this
Or
outside.
perhaps-
Making cupcakes!
Pinkie happily announced.
Ow!
Baking?
Dash was disappointed.
Pinkie, you know I'm not good at baking. Remember last time?
Oh, that's not a problem at all. I only need your help in making them. I'll be doing most of the work.
Pinkie explained. Dash thought about it for a second.
Well, alright. I guess that's okay. What exactly do you need me to do?
That's the spirit. Here you go.
Pinkie handed Dash a cupcake. Dash was puzzled.
I thought I was helping
It's
you
got
bake.
sleeping pills in
It
it!
will be. I made this one just for you before you got here.
So is this like taste testing or something?
Sorta.
More like
Pinkie
drop
said.
down to the floor.
Dash
testing.
shrugged and popped the pastry into her mouth. She chewed a bit and swallowed. Not bad,
Okay, now what?
Dash asked.
Now, you take a nap.
Pinkie informed her. Puzzled, Dash opened her mouth but felt instantly lightheaded. A wave of dizziness washed over her. The world spun, and seconds later, she collapsed to the floor.
I see that coming.
When Dash regained consciousness, she found herself in a dark room. She tried to shake her head, but found that a taut leather strap held it firmly in place. She struggled to move, but braces around her chest and limbs glued her to a rack formed from a series of sturdy planks, which spread her legs wide apart. Dash's wings were the only part of her not tied down, and they fluttered frantically while she struggled to escape. As she arrived, Pinkie jumped suddenly into her
Is the front hooves and the back our legs?
Goody, you're awake! Now we can get started.
She bounded into the darkness and quickly reappeared, pushing a small cart covered with a cloth.
Pinkie, what's going on? I can't move!
Dash said urgently.
Well, Dad, that's because you're tied down. That's why you can't move. I didn't think you'd be told that.
Chided Pinkie.
That's taken
Why?
from... Yeah,
what's happening? I thought you said it was going to help make cupcakes.
You are helping.
You are the
I ran out
cupcake,
of
Rainbow.
special ingredient, and I need you to get more.
Special ingredient?
Dash was now breathing heavily.
Yeah,
and starting
Skittles.
to panic.
What special ingredient?
Taste the rainbow!
Pinkie giggled and responded.
You silly.
Dash's eyes
It's
widened
true, though.
and her face
Why is it
contorted
always
in
pink?
fear.
Why is it
Then
always
she started to laugh and
Rainbow
said
that who
in
dies?
a voice bordering on hysteria.
Woo! You really got me there, Pinkie Pie. I mean, tricking me into
This
thinking
is
I'm
no
gonna get
joke,
made into
Rainbow
a
Dash.
cupcake. I gotta tell you, this is the best prank yet. You win. You're the best.
Pinkie only
How do you
giggled
know
even
how
more.
do you know this is a prank, Rainbow?
Aw, thanks, Dash. But I haven't done any pranks today, so I can't accept your praise.
Dash was struggling again.
Pinkie, come on. This isn't funny.
Then why were you laughing?
Before Dash could answer, Pinkie grabbed the cloth and whipped it off the cart. On the cart was a tray containing various sharp metal tools and knives, carefully organized
I
and
remember seeing that
wickedly
in
sharp,
the SFM
as
video.
well as a large medical bag. Dash was now in full panic mode. She was starting to hyperventilate. Her mind raced as
Just
she
imagine
started to reason with
if
the
this
pink
was
pony.
actually an animation.
You
Cartoon
can't do this,
animation.
Pinkie. I'm your friend.
I know you are, and that's why I'm so happy that I got you here. We get to share
What was
your
that?
last moments together, just you and me.
Pinkie was skipping again.
But the other ponies will wonder where I
That
am.
glitch in the video.
And when the clouds pile up, they'll come looking for me, and then you'll get found out.
Dash cried in desperation.
Oh, Dash, don't worry. There are plenty of Pegasus ponies to take care of a few clouds. And besides, no one will find out. I mean, how long do you think I've been
Rainbow
doing
Dash,
this?
you're going to
Said
die.
Pinkie. And with that ominous statement, the light suddenly came to life and revealed the rest of the room.
Oh no.
Dash reeled in horror at the image presented to her. The room was decorated with a typical but twisted Pinkie Pie flair. Colorful streamers of dried entrails fluttered around on the ceiling. Brightly painted skulls of all sizes were attached to the walls, and organs done up in
A
pastels
place
filled
for
with
a
healing
maniac,
were
like
tied
Rainbow,
to the
like Pinkie
backs
Pie.
of chairs. The tables and chairs were made of bones and the preserved flesh of past ponies. Dash cringed upon seeing the centerpiece of the table nearest to her. The heads of 4 foals, their eyes closed as if they were sleeping,
there's
were wearing
pictures
party
of,
hats made from their own skin. With a thrill of terror, Dash recognized
Is
one
it
of
one
them
of the
as
CMC's
Appledoor's
helping
classmate,
Pinkie
Twist.
Pie? Is it like
Dash's
Scootaloo?
eyes darted back and forth and then fell
is that-
upon a patchwork
think it's
hanger
Scootaloo.
hanging from the rafters, made from the ponies' hides. The words, "Life is a party," were scrawled on it in blood red. Dash's attention was brought back by a party
This is a
horn
party.
unfurling and tickling
This
her
is the mass
nose.
murderer, Pinkie
She
Pie.
gaped at Pinkie Pie, who was standing right in front of her. The party pony was wearing a dress quilted from dried skin, emblazoned with cutie marks.
It's pretty
On her
hard.
back fluttered 6 Pegasus.
It's very hard to
all
imagine
of
this was
different
made
colours.
before Cupcakes.
As the Earth
Or
Pony
before-
skipped
not
in
Cup-
excitement,
before,
her necklace of severed unicorn horns clacked together loudly.
Like it?
Before
I
that
made it
episode.
myself.
Pinkie asked. Desperately, Dash pleaded with the smiling pony before her.
Pinkie, please. I'm sorry if I did anything to you. I didn't mean it. Please, let me go. I promise I won't tell anybody.
Oh, Dash, you didn't do anything. It's just that your number came up and, well, I don't make the rules. We can't turn back now.
Dash was tearing up now. How could this be happening?
Aw, don't be sad, Dash. Look, this'll cheer you up. I brought you a friend,
said Pinkie.
Who?
Seemingly out of nowhere, Pinkie produced a brightly painted blue and yellow skull. It was about pony-sized, but it had a very defining feature: a beak. Dash gaped in shock.
Is that...
Hey, Dash! Let's hang together! These ponies are lame-os. Dweebs.
Pinkie mimicked.
I
Gilda!
met her right before she left town. Remember when I left the party for about 20 minutes?
I remember seeing that. I remember seeing
to
that.
play with her, of course. I had to wait till after the party to do that. But boy, my glad I did. It was worth it for the flavor alone. Griffins taste like two animals at once. It's amazing. I know she didn't have a number like everyone else in Ponyville, but where was I going to get another chance to try Griffin? I probably should have asked where she came from so I could have gotten more, but I forgot. I'll tell you what, though, she was quite the fighter. She lasted a long time, which was a lot of fun for me. I got the chance to play with somebody other than a pony and try new themes. It's too bad she had a meanie mouth. She said
I fucking
so much
hate
bad
Pinkie
stuff,
Pie
I
now,
just
for
had
fuck's
to take
sake.
her tongue out.
No, not
You know,
real. Not
bad
now.
language makes
In the
me
show,
bad
she's
feelings,
fine.
Rainbow
Here,
Dash.
she's a fucking
Dash didn't
murderer.
have anything to say. She just sobbed and writhed in her tight bonds.
Well, that's enough reminiscing. It's time to begin.
Said Pinkie with an air of finality. Putting down Gilda's skull, the pink pony gripped a scalpel in the cleft of her hoof and walked over
Here
to Dash's
comes
right
the
flank. Without any
disgusting
flair,
bits.
Pinkie placed the blade an inch above Dash's cutie mark and began a circular cut around it. Dash shouted in pain
Now,
and tried
maybe that's
desperately
been
to move
unbarred.
away, but the braces held her still. Finishing the incision, Pinkie grabbed a curved skinning knife from the tray. Screwing up her face in concentration, she worked it underneath Dash's skin and sliced the hide away from the muscle. Dash ground her teeth as she tearfully watched her flesh peel off. Pinkie then moved to the other side and repeated the process on Dash's left flank. Once she had finished, Pinkie held up both cutie marks in front of her friend and started waving them like pom-poms. Dash just whimpered, her thighs burning like nothing she had felt before. Placing the ragged patches of skin down, Pinkie selected a large butcher knife and walked behind the blue Pegasus.
Hope
Okay.
you don't mind. I think I'm gonna win it now.
It's one of those attractions that moves like that.
Pinkie laughed. She grabbed Dash's left wing in her mouth and played with it for a few seconds, yanking it back so the sharp pain reignited the fire in Dash's flanks. Then, stretching the wing out, Pinkie brought the blade down hard at the base.
Jesus
Instantly,
Christ!
Dash screamed and thrashed her appendage. The movement threw off Pinkie's aim. She tried to hit the mark again, but missed, and carved a huge slice into
Thank you for
Dash's
reminding me
back.
of that SFM video.
Dash, try to stay still or we'll keep missing.
Scolded Pinkie as her friend howled.
Oh yeah, party
Pinkie
of
took another
party
whack
of one.
and hit her target.
This
She swung
made
again
before
and again.
shit.
Blood sprayed
Before
into
party
the air,
of one.
but Pinkie realized she wasn't getting anywhere. The blade just was not going through the bone.
I guess I forgot to sharpen it. I'll try something else.
Stated Pinkie matter-of-factly as she tossed the knife over her shoulder, embedding the blade into the table. Through the haze of pain and tears, Dash heard the sound of a metal box opening and closing.
Got it! Say, Dash, why do they call it a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hacking is what I was doing with a knife. This is a saw. I don't get it.
Pinkie placed the tool over the mangled flesh of the last attempt. Standing on her hind legs, she worked the saw back and forth with her front hooves. It sliced effortlessly through the bone and skin. The
That
feeling
sounds
of the
ballistic.
jagged teeth grinding into her made Dash want to vomit. She watched numbly
It's
as her
lucky I
knife
got,
flew
I
over
got a
her head
strong
and
stomach
landed
for
with
that
a
sort of
fluff
thing,
on
man.
the table.
You know what I mean?
Pinkie moved to the next wing and started sawing. Dash did not struggle this time.
Is that a
She'd
zip?
given up trying to
I think
fight
that's a zip
and
sound.
focused on
A
choking
zip
back
sound
screams
effect.
of agony. Abruptly, the sawing paused. Pinkie was only halfway done, the wing hanging off by a sliver.
Hey, Dash!
Pinkie piped up.
Yes?
Be fast!
Suddenly, Pinkie yanked the wing as hard as she could. The bones snapped, but the blue pony's skin held, then tore away. The pole ripped away a long strip of flesh all the way down Dash's back to her rump.
Blimey!
Her body seized at the unexpected trauma as her pelvis tensed up. Dash felt a warm release between her legs, and
I'm
her
surprised
loud,
that Rainbow Dash
unending
hasn't fallen
melody of pain
unconscious
filled the room.
because of loss of
Unable
blood.
to catch her breath, she blacked out.
I know she's blacked out.
Dash awoke with a gasp. The stench of her urine filled her mucus-caked nostrils. As her vision swam into focus, she saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie removing a large adrenaline needle from her chest.
Adrenaline needle?
Stomping her hooves, the frustrated Pinkie lashed out at her helpless victim.
Didn't anybody teach you any manners? It's very rude to fall asleep when somebody invites you over to spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Dash. You're so bored, I'll think I'll take a nap. You think I always like doing this by myself? I told you how excited I got when I found you were next. I was excited to have a friend be here with me while I worked. But no! You got to be inconsiderate. You know, I thought you were tough. I thought you could handle anything. I had full stand better than you. Do I have to baby you? Huh?
If you cut through the bone, every pony's gonna fucking hear it.
As Pinkie stopped to catch her
Every
breath,
pony's gonna be like, what the
Dash
fuck
blinked
sort of thing.
and sobbed softly. Her back was in agony, her sides were on fire, and there was an intense
I'm surprised
pain
you're able
in
to
one of
feel
her
the
legs.
pain.
As she
actually.
blinked again, she saw Pinkie pop something red into her mouth and began to chew. Noticing Dash's stare, Pinkie quickly gulped the morsel down.
What? Oh, this? Well, while you were asleep, I got a little impatient and helped
Sounds like a bit
myself
like
to a
Rosie a bit.
sample. I got it from your leg. You're not bad. Want to try some?
Without waiting for a response, Pinkie shoved the strip of meat into the revolted Pegasus pony's mouth. Dash gagged and immediately spat it out.
This is
Pinkie
only 26
frowned
minutes.
and picked
I'm
up
not
the
sure how
chunk
long
of
the
flesh.
SSM video was.
If you didn't want it, you could have said no.
Swallowing, Pinkie turned her attention to a small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing that it was filled with red-hot coals. Lying on top of the coals were several large nails. As the adrenaline filled her veins,
I still can't
Dash
believe this was
began
made
to
before
panic
Party of
again.
One, man. Wow.
Picking up the can, Pinkie walked over to Dash's left, holding some tongs with her mouth. Pinkie carefully picked up the nail and positioned it at the seam between her victim's front left leg and hoof. She then grabbed a hammer.
Oh, is it?
and
It's
took
not called back
careful aim.
hooves, it's called legs.
No, Pinkie! No! No!
Dash screamed. The hammer came down and the nail punctured Dash's skin. The white-hot burning was too much. Dash screamed as she pulled and thrashed at the braces, causing her raw skin to rub and tear. Pinkie tried to line up another nail, but couldn't find her aim, and let out a frustrated grunt. When Pinkie brought the hammer back to take a wild swing, Dash burst out crying and begging.
That's not gonna work
Please
though.
stop! Please stop!
Pinkie rolled her eyes, putting down the hammer and tongs.
Fluffy,
She
well
went back
done!
in front of her
For
friend
goodness
and
sake,
stared
that's...
pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda did not even cry this much when she had a live parasprite stuffed down her throat.
Man, Fluffy,
Pinkie thought for a
Fluffy
minute about
is
what to do
excellent
next,
already in
then
it.
had a sudden spark of inspiration.
That is some acting.
Rotating a
Fucking
wheel
hell.
on the rack, Pinkie laid Dash on her back, then moved to Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Picking up her tools, Pinkie drove a searing hot spike of metal directly into the bottom of Dash's hoof. As Dash yelled in pain, Pinkie moved around and drove a second nail into the other hoof. Next, Pinkie went back to her cart and located an enormous battery and controller, which she dragged over to where she was working. She tied copper wires between the terminals and the nails driven
Copper
into
wires.
Dash's hooves, then gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Electricity rocketed throughout Rainbow Dash's
Yeah, I
body.
remember that in the
The
scene.
blue pony reacted immediately. Her body seized, and her muscles
That should have killed her straight away,
Dash's
though.
hips
That should have killed Rainbow
her
there
eyes
and then.
rolled back, and she let out a deep, throat-shredding
Chance of
cry.
you surviving that is very
Pinkie
slim.
giggled and danced in place, then reached down and turned up the juice. Dash convulsed uncontrollably, and her bladder emptied.
Now, capital punishment comes to Ponyville.
After about 5 minutes, Pinkie shut off the power. Wisps of steam rose from the cinched fur around Dash's hooves, and the area reeked
Why she didn't
with
set a
cooked
fire?
flesh and burnt enamel. Pinkie rotated Dash upright again and tried snapping the drooling, delirious pony back to attention.
Dash? Dash! Rainbow Dash, wake up!
Dash moaned and managed to give a modicum of weak acknowledgement.
I
Pinkie
do
studied
remember in
her
the
handiwork, then reached into a medicine bag and
SSM
produced
video
a large syringe.
that Rainbow Dash had a flashback moment
Dash
before she
focused
died.
squarely on the needle, which Pinkie took as a question as to what it was.
Alright, time for the
It's
last
the-
round.
Pinkie
gonna kill
informed
you.
Dash as she walked around to her
Rainbow
victim's
Dash, you're
thrown
fucking
back.
dead, man. Sorry.
Dash flinched
You're my
as
one of the
Pinkie
favourites,
jabbed
but
the needle
in this
into
story,
the
you're
lower
fucking
part
dead.
of the blue pony's spine. Moving in front of her friend again, Pinkie leaned down and elaborated.
This is a little something to take the pain
Chocolate
away.
cupcake.
In a few minutes,
Skittles.
you won't be able to feel anything
Cupcake.
below your ribcage.
Rainbow
and you'll be able to
Dash.
stay awake to watch the
Cupcake.
harvest.
Dash started to cry again.
Crying is not going to help you, Rainbow Dash.
She choked out.
Yeah?
I want to go home.
Dash sobbed.
Yeah, I can see you wanting to do that. Sometimes I just want to give up. Just say, I'm done with this mess and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You got to pull yourself up and meet the challenges head on. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead in life.
Replied the party pony. Dash hung her head and cried.
She's not a party pony.
Minutes
She's a
passed
fucking
as the drug
murderer.
Took effect.
A
Eventually,
psychopath.
Dash was completely numb from her chest to her flanks. At this
A
point,
disturbed
Pinkie
party
approached with a scalpel,
pony.
glancing at Dash and smiling. Pinkie made a long horizontal cut across the Pegasus pony's pelvis, just above her crotch. Moving
Wow.
up Dash's body, Pinkie made a similar incision under her ribs. Finally, Pinkie made a long vertical cut down Dash's stomach, connecting the first two.
Looks like I got my eye on you, Dash.
With a moist, gooey sound, the flaps of skin
That was
opened.
good for the laugh, though.
The sight of her own organs and the lack of feeling caused Dash's breathing to intensify. Pinkie carefully sliced open Dash's abdominal sac and grabbed her large intestines. As she separated the organ from the rest of the digestive tract and pulled it out of the new cavity, Pinkie grew jovial, laughing as she gutted her friend. Pinkie began to make jokes. Dash, growing weaker from this new source of blood loss, tried desperately to shut down the
I'm
macabre
surprised that she.
comedy.
I'm
act.
surprised Rainbow Dash is he's not even dead by now.
Pinkie laughed, slinging the intestinal tube around her neck and spraying blood in all directions.
Isn't my new scarf so pretty?
Reaching back inside, she sliced the smaller intestine off from the bowels, squeezing out the excess excrement. Pinkie filed the slimy organ through her teeth and dragged it back and forth.
Dad say you gotta floss every day, Dash.
Dash was barely aware of what was going on anymore. The shock was causing her to fade. Disappointed, Pinkie dived back into the blue pony's guts, ramping up her routine.
Aw, don't go yet, Dash.
Pinkie started pulling out the rest of Dash's organs, pausing with each removal.
I know I can be a real pancreas, but you know I'm just kidding with you. You really gotta learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are gaining bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for them.
Pinkie placed the discarded
Pinkie,
body
just
parts into a bucket, keeping the last
Get
one
on
for
with
a
it
bit
and just
longer.
kill her and get on with it and fuck off.
Bagpipes!
She said, placing the end of Dash's esophagus into her mouth and the stomach in her armpit. She squeezed, and a spurt of acid hit her tongue.
Ew!
File.
Oh, hey look, there's your cupcake, Dash.
Dash did not hear her tormentor. She had slipped from consciousness minutes ago. Pinkie, not yet satisfied, hit Dash with yet another adrenaline shot. Dash woke up, for the last time, her heart pounding. Warm blood flowed out from the wound in her chest in great spurts. It wouldn't be long now. Pinkie brought Dash around onto her back again and straddled the blue pony's chest, scalpel at the ready.
You know,
Rest in
Dash,
peace, Rainbow
I'm
Dash.
disappointed.
Rest in
Thought you would
peace.
have lasted longer. I really want to spend more time with you before we got here. But I guess it's my fault. I should have taken it a little slower. Oh well, it was really nice knowing you, Dash.
The blade sunk into the blue throat and worked its way up to Dash's chin,
Yuck.
coming back down. Pinkie's scalpel then circled around Dash's neck. The last thing Rainbow Dash felt was her skin being cut away from her skull, and the metal of the blade scraping her teeth. Then she was gone.
She was dead.
Pinkie Pie stared into the mirror. She had done a really good job, even keeping the eyelids. She winked, and Dash winked back. Pinkie smiled, but still, she was sad that her friend was gone now. Dash had only lasted 50 minutes, not nearly as long as Pinkie had wanted. She looked back at the cadaver hanging in the center of the room, the last of her friend's fluids draining into a pan. Yup, no more Rainbow Dash. As she looked, Pinkie cocked her head. She began to take notice of the fact that there really wasn't much damage to the corpse.
In fact,
The pink pony mused.
I think...
An idea exploded in her head. She was good at sewing, and she had all the pieces. All she had to do was put them back together. Yeah, she just had to get some stuffing and bingo, she'd have Rainbow Dash forever. In fact, thought Pinkie, that's what she'd do for all her best friends when their numbers came up. She was so excited. She skipped right over to the body with her Skinner to get started. The Cupcakes could wait. Pinkie Pie had a friend to make.
You mean to stuff, not to make, to stuff. Hello, that was Cupcakes, My Little Pony Grimdark reading by Expo. That's one of the not graphic, it was a disturbing reading as such. It's a good job as well, there was no animation to it. And if there was animation to it as well, it would have been a lot worse seeing the visuals. And I kind of saw that in the SFM video last year. One of the sound effects I loved. I can't believe I'm saying that word, loved or liked. Especially when Pinkie Pie was stabbing the wing. That was a good sound effect. Even the sounds of the mechanism or the chains to raise the bed thing. Don't know what you call them. What, bed thing. Might use my hand, but bed thing. One sound effect I didn't actually hear is when Pinkie Pie was hammering the nail. It would have been nice to hear if you actually heard the nail going into flesh. I didn't hear that as much. I didn't actually hear it. I'm not sure I heard it at all. Maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't. But it makes me think, Pinkie Pie is a fucking insane, man! Seriously! And I can't believe this was made before Party of One. This was made before Party of One. And one of the questions I didn't say it in the reaction, what is Rarity's New Patterns based off? There must be a finding moment there. Rarity's New Patterns. Is that based off an episode compared to Cupcakes? What is worse, Cupcakes or Rarity's New Patterns? And it's always a Rainbow Dash is gonna die. And why is it always? Yeah, good question. Other people say, why is it always Rainbow Dash who gets to get killed? Why is it always Rainbow Dash? Maybe the person who thought this, fan fiction or film fiction doesn't like Rainbow Dash, and that's why I'm gonna kill Rainbow Dash because I hate her. Well, I can say whoever wrote this story, I'm not sure, I can't remember who. He's got one sick mind, I can tell you. One sick mind. Brilliant, but scary.
Oh, come on!
Thank you, sweetheart. And that sparked the Tumblr dubs as well with Pinkie Pie as well. I think that inspired the Tumblr dubs, those black and white bloody pictures.
Oh, come on!
Thank you. Excellent VA work from Fluffy and the other VA. Pinkie Pie was good, man. When it comes to Pinkie Pie was good. Rainbow Dash was good. You can actually hear Sweet Belle. You can actually hear the emotion in Rainbow Dash, and you kind of feel for her, but you thinking you just want to help her get her off and kill Pinkie Pie, and then you're thinking it's just a story. But if I was there, I'd try and get. But the chance of me actually proceeding or actually getting away with it, no, because the same treatment is going to happen to me as well. Now, that said, hope you like this reaction and normal reactions I do, and I will see you next time. Oh, yes.